killing the old version isn't suicide, it's just rebirth. I was 45 kilos, barely able to stand, and my heart had just stopped in a hotel in Bangkok. I was rushed to a hospital on the other side of the world, all alone, completely. I met a tiny, wrinkly doctor who asked me this one question that changed absolutely everything for me. Are you willing to take responsibility for your own life? Not your parents' version, not society's version, your life. Adaptability, it's not about being flexible or going with the flow. It's about being willing to kill the version of yourself that no longer serves you. Even when that version feels like the only you that you know. This was a couple of days into my visit to the hospital. But it was an eye-opener, not being defined by what is happening to you, but to choose the bigger picture. Let me take you back a little bit to where it all started. I was 11 years old, lying in a homemade bunk bed underneath blue flowery wallpaper, you remember, from the 70s. My sister on the top bunk, pulling a pillow over her head because I was reciting prayers again. Not one religion, all of them. Greek mythology, Hinduism, the Bible, mixed together in my own chaotic search for answers. She'd grunt at me, why can't you just be normal? And I didn't have an answer. I just knew I was looking for something outside myself, even though what I needed was already inside. Well, fast forward some years. I'm 13, working in a bar in Greece, mixing cocktails, watching drunk tourists and locals blur together. I know I lived a little bit different than most. I'm studying people, how they behave, how they talk, how they move through the world. Still seeking, still trying to find where I would fit in. But fitting in? That was never going to be my path. By my early 20s, I'd served time in prison for drunk driving. I'd backpacked alone through Asia. I'd pushed myself so hard, ignored absolutely, totally my body so completely, getting so sick that my weight ended at 45 kilos and my heart stopped. And in that hospital bed in Bangkok, I finally met someone who didn't try to fix me. He tried to wake me up, trying to make me understand. His name was Tonio, my doctor. This tiny, wrinkly man with a voice like a soft wind, slow, precise, impossible to ignore. For 7 days, he sat with me, not as a doctor, but as a teacher. He didn't give me medication and send me home. He gave me questions. Life is about learning, you know, not being loved. He said, struggle is a mirror. It shows you what you need to solve. I want him to be a mentor. I begged him, just tell me what to do. Give me the roadmap. I'm so good at executing. I just need someone to tell me the plan. He smiled this quiet smile. Then he said something that shattered me. Annette, only you can choose your path forward. But you have to leave old information behind. The beliefs, the fears, the expectations, things that don't serve you anymore. Otherwise, it will be too heavy to carry for you. I felt angry, abandoned. You're just going to send me back into the world with nothing. He shook his head slowly. No, I'm sending you back with the only thing that matters. The understanding that your life is yours to choose, not mine to direct. That moment broke something open in me. Not an answer, a question actually. What if the life I was trying to live wasn't even mine? So I came back to Norway, half my size, barely able to hold my own weight, and I started asking different questions. Not what do people expect of me, but what information am I carrying that isn't mine? Because this was the lesson. Your mind isn't actually yours. From age 0 to 7, your brain is wide open, absorbing absolutely everything. Your parents' fears become your fears, your teachers' rules become your rules, society's expectations become your expectations. So nobody teaches you to question it. So you walk around thinking your thoughts are yours. Your worries are valid. Your limitations are real. But they're not. They're just patterns, inherited patterns. And patterns can be changed. As much as 40 to 60% of yourself you can change. So I started practicing. Every time I'm spun out, I can't do that. What if I fail? What will people think? I stopped it. I created businesses, failed spectacularly, lost everything. I became a priest on a remote island in Norway. Me, the girl who mixed religions in prayers, now ordained to serve a community of 200 people of pilgrims who visit this remote little place. I overachieved, over-delivered, burned out so completely I stood on the edge of cliff and said goodbyes. I didn't think I'd come back. But I kept choosing. I kept adapting, not to fit in, but to find my own voice underneath all the noise. I tried all the different paths to find answers. Then I moved to a remote island in Kenya. No neighbors within sight, no running water, no electricity except solar power for a few hours a day. Food cooked over open fire. To go swimming each morning, I had to tie the anchor rope to my back because the current was so strong to handle. When people asked me, "Aren't you scared?" And the answer became no. Because I don't ask myself that question. I execute and see what I need to solve to move on. Of course I worried at times, but I didn't let it define me. That's the whole difference. So adaptability isn't about eliminating fear. It's about refusing to let fear make your decisions. Because if I let my mindset run my life, fear would be the captain and worry would be the first mate. And that ship, it goes nowhere. It probably sinks. Your brain loves patterns, like I keep talking about. So if you wake up every morning thinking, I'm not good enough, I'm too much, I will never succeed, your brain will find evidence to prove it's true. That's a fact. But if you wake up curious, what's going to happen today? What can I learn? Who can I become? Your brain will seek out possibilities instead of proof of your limitations, because there are actually no limitations. This is the shift. Adaptability is choosing which pattern to feed. And it requires three things. You have to be aware, catch the old pattern before it takes over choice, deciding consciously instead of defaulting to fear action, moving forward even when it feels uncomfortable. In Kenya, I practiced this daily. Every time I had to swim that current, I could have thought, this is dangerous. What if I drown? What if something happens? What if? Instead, I thought, I'm strong enough. I've done this before. This is how we get where we need to go. Same situation, different pattern, different outcome, different adaptability. Means being willing to let go of the version of yourself that no longer serves you, even when that version feels safe, even when killing it feels like killing yourself. I know, because I've stood on that edge, literally and metaphorically. After I burned out, after I achieved everything I thought I was supposed to achieve, successful businesses, respected position, perfect performance, I realized I built a life on someone else's blueprint. And it was suffocating me. So I had to kill it. The achieving version, the performing version, the never enough version. And your ego will fight this. It loves that old version. It loves the familiar patterns, even when they're destroying you. Your ego thrives on problems. It loves obstacles. It loves the drama of, I can't do this. Life is so hard. Nothing works for me. But solving it, creating something new, that terrifies the ego. Because the ego knows If you change the pattern, you kill the old self, and the ego is invested in in that old self surviving. So it will fight you with everything it has. It will tell you you're not ready. It will remind you of every failure. It will shame you for trying. And if you listen to it, you'll stay stuck. You keep choosing what's comfortable, what resonates with the old pattern, what keeps you small and safe. But that version is outdated. It's running on somebody else's code or blueprint. Call it whatever you want. And you can't create your unique blueprint with somebody else's software. So here's what you do. You wake up every single day and you ask yourself, and this is fun, am I choosing my life or am I running on somebody else's program? And when you catch yourself running the old program, the fear, the worry, the I'm not enough, stop it and ask yourself, is this mine or is somebody else's information? Does it serve who I'm becoming? What would I choose if I wasn't afraid? And then you act, you go in the opposite direction. Even if it's small, just do it. Because adaptability isn't one big choice. It's 1,000 small choices to refuse the old pattern and feed the new one. I've always been different, out of the box, never mainstream. And it's taken me a lifetime to stop apologizing for it, to stop trying to fit into spaces that were never built for me, to stop carrying information that was never, ever mine. But here I am. I'm proud. And if you're watching this, maybe you're different too. Maybe you've been seeking answers outside yourself when everything you need is already inside. Maybe you've been trying to fit in when you were meant to stand out. So let me ask you the same question that the doctor asked me in Bangkok. Are you willing to take responsibility for your life? Not to control it, not to force it, but to choose it, to adapt, to let go of what's heavy, to kill the version of yourself that no longer serves you, because the world doesn't need another copy. It needs your light, your unique blueprint, your voice. And if you don't let yourself shine, you don't let anyone else shine either. So choose, adapt, create. Stop letting inherited fear write your story. Your life is yours, so choose it wisely. If this resonated, subscribe. I'm here every week with honest guidance on how to kill your old self. So I'll see you next one. And as always, if you want to kickstart yourself and get the blueprint I have created, here is your free day manual in the caption.